During seed starting and seedling season, which we're currently in the midst of, there are a lot of opportunities we could invest some money in hopes of having more success or more efficiency. And I get the question a lot as to whether or not a product somebody is considering buying is worth the purchase. And my answer is usually one of two things, yes or no. But sometimes I give a third answer and it's, well, that's nice to have, but it's not a need to have. And I've changed my answer on that for a couple things I want to talk about today. Germination heat mats and thermostats and grow lights in the greenhouse. Let's talk about them. So let's talk about the germination mat and thermostat and why my answer has now changed to yes, a need to have on both. So this year I had an interesting situation which led to that decision. I start a lot of tomato seeds and other seeds too, but I'm used to tomato seeds germinating in like 2 to 5 days with fresh seeds. And this year they were taking anywhere from 7 days to 15 days, and I knew something was off. So through process of elimination, I narrowed it down to the germination heat mat, and it was driving temperatures up in my soil blocks to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which is way outside the range at which seeds will germinate under normal ambient conditions. So I knew that that was the problem. So I had two choices. I could either buy new germination mats, or I could go with a thermostat, which will dial in that temperature, even when the mat is fluctuating, which is what mine was doing. And I didn't want to invest in a bunch of new mats because I knew I could fix it with a thermostat. So by getting a thermostat, that heat mat plugs into this, and this is what drives the temperature to maintain a constant. And so once I plugged this in and set it up and plugged in an 80-degree preferred temperature, the next day I started getting germination. And that is why my answer has changed. With these germination mats and thermostat, those are now on my need to have list. Now what about grow lights in a greenhouse? Is that a nice to have or need to have? Well, clearly that's a nice to have because you can get by with a few days of clouds and you'll be okay. But I still love having these on those strings of cloudy days, and this is the time of year where you can have several days consecutively of cloud cover and you're going to miss out on some important light getting to your seedlings. And in my case, that's especially important because these are going for sale in a little over 3 weeks and I really need some serious growth to happen between now and then. And it's not going to happen if I don't have some supplemental light on those cloudy days. So if you're questioning whether or not the grow lights really make a difference, let me just show you with my light meter that's on my phone. It's called Photon. It's a great meter, but standing here outside the influence of the grow lights, I'm looking at readings of ppfd. That's the reading of the photons hitting the object. In this case, it's the light meter, but it's measuring in the 70 range. That's not great. That's kind of weak, actually. Inside my house, under a normal grow light, it's over 250, much better. But in the 70s, not so much. Now, if I take my meter and just move it over here under the grow lights, I'm going up 404, 5, yeah. So it's a significantly better reading in what I'm looking for of photons. That's the light energy that's going to help these plants grow. So during those cloudy days, this is making a big difference. Now, once the cloud cover moves, I can turn them off and just set them down, and it just takes a few minutes to put them away or put them back up. But in times of need, these really make a difference. So yeah, it's definitely nice to have, maybe a need to have, but we'll stick with nice to have too.